Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally just does not work. Wow. Welcome to another edition of Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys. In an offseason that you thought would be less drama-filled, it's truly been drama-filled as always. You know, if you like covering the Cowboys, then you definitely always have something to talk about. Unfortunately, every year we have something big that just kind of puts us all at odds. And unfortunately, it doesn't matter which side of the fence that you're on. The Dez Bryant situation has been bad. The team handled it terribly. This could have been dealt with in-house and shouldn't have been played out in the media, shouldn't have gone on as long as it did. And I blame management on that because if Dez Bryant was, a player you cared about and everything else, the best thing you could have done for him was to let him go in the beginning of free agency, to give him more options out there to find the perfect fit for where he goes. Don't get me wrong, he'll still find a good job. I'm guarantee it. He still has skills to play in the NFL. But you really did him wrong. I mean, you basically did what the media has done to him his whole career, which is just kind of sully his name. He got raked through the coals. All the dirty laundry and stuff was put out there. And now you're moving on. I mean, this is no different than Mike Farello saying there's a video out there. There might be a video out there that's 10 times worse than Ray Rice. This is no worse than, it's the same as Ian Rappaport saying that the police have been called to Dez Bryant's house 6 times, which was BS. But it is what it is, and we have to come together and either be mad at the Cowboys and no longer a fan, or we have to understand it's about the star. Well, I certainly have not made any friends out there because of the situation. And here's the thing to me that's important. I don't like when people just blindly agree with somebody. I think you need to get as much information as you can and come up with your own conclusions. Because there's so much stuff out there, false narrative, lies, so forth, and everything else. And with football, it's one of those things that it's harder to predict than the weather. So you want to inform yourself, not just with football, but everything in life, with as much information and decide what you believe. So I try and listen to everybody. Try and put the pieces together and see how it fits, and that's how I come up with my conclusions. And I welcome everybody else to do the same thing. So apparently I've caught the attention and got a new hater out there in Okoye who believes that I'm trying to divide Cowboys Nation. Now, everybody and their sister, when their argument for Dez Bryant is, look at the tape. And they have shared with me the link a million times. So when Law Nation had his view on Dez Bryant declining, did a video about saying, shots fired back and forth. It's not about dividing people or trying to get you to take one side or the other. It's about getting you to look at everything that's out there and you come up with your own conclusions. Be an informed consumer, so to speak. And so, Okoye, I welcome you to be here on the show. I'm hoping that actually I'll see you down at the draft. And props to you for doing all the work that you're putting in on your channel, breaking down the film and everything else to make your case and your argument. And that's what all these guys out here, because there's a lot of great YouTubers that work hard to bring you the best news. Some of it's right, some of it's wrong, some of it may be BS or whatever, but everybody is working hard to bring you content. So be sure to check them all out and then decide on what you believe. Now, as far as our Cowboys, Day 1 is in the books for the Dallas Cowboys' first OTAs with Life Without Dez Bryant. Dak Prescott, to me, when I saw him a week and a half ago, looks like he's lost a little bit of weight, looks like he's in actually great shape. He's already been working with Alan Hearns, which is great that he is there working out, which is one of those things in the past, because of injuries to players and things like that, where guys are rehabbing, foot, ankle, knee, back, whatever. You weren't getting a lot of work together with the guys that are going to be playing valuable minutes. The fact that we've got Dak Prescott, who's already been working out with Alan Hearns as well as the other guys, the fact that we have a route guru who's working with your Ryan Switzers and things like that, is good that we're getting in extra work right now to hopefully develop better chemistry as the season goes on. Don't get it wrong. Believe me, I am a fan of Dak Prescott. Everybody knows I'm a fan of Dak Prescott. I was a fan of Dak Prescott from the first time I saw him play at the Senior Bowl. And I believed and still believe that he is the best quarterback for our Dallas Cowboys. That doesn't mean that he is perfect. Doesn't mean he doesn't have to put in the work, because football, it's constantly evolving. You have to get better and better, especially as you get older, because when you're 22 years old, you can do a lot of things that you can't do when you're 30. And that's where learning the game, becoming a student of the game, learning the exact footwork, learning the nuances comes in. And Dak Prescott has that to learn. He's got to get his mechanics down better. He's got to go ahead and get his timing and things down better. And I look forward to him doing that. But I believe he has the tools to be a very, very successful quarterback. And he's putting in the work for it. Now, let's make no mistake. This is a very important year for Dak Prescott. This is setting up his contract. He's not being paid jack crap because of being drafted in the 4th round. This is a prove-it year for him as well as for Jason Garrett. So I look forward to seeing what ends up transpiring, what Dak Prescott we have for next year. And as you Dez Bryant's fans say, well, he doesn't have Dez an excuse, and he doesn't. We're making this, quote-unquote, Dak-friendly offense. Well, let's see how Dak-friendly works. Defense. We've already heard that Byron Jones is going to be put as a cornerback, in which case he is now definitely working out a cornerback, which definitely leaves the holes in safety position. I believe that this is part of a grand scheme of Chris Richard. My hopes, and I talked about this last night on the live stream, and shout out to everybody who was on the live stream last night, is Rod Marnelli is a genius when it comes to working with the defensive line. He has taken guys that you wouldn't have thought were going to be anything and turned them into very productive NFL players. Remember, David Irving was a practice squad guy. Under Rod Marnelli, all of a sudden you look at him and say, he could be the real deal. George Selvey was a journeyman that didn't do anything. When we signed George Selvey, everybody was kind of like, oh. But he got 8 sacks in a season under Rod Marnelli. He has taken guys and taken them to the next level. I'm hoping he's going to have that same effect with Taco. You could see Taco first half of the season didn't do much, but started coming on in the second half, much the way that David Irving did. And you see how David Irving took off the next year. Well, hopefully we'll have that same effect with Taco. But Rod Marnelli has got the hip issues. Is getting up there in age and things. I think that if he focuses in on the defensive line, then that's a good transition. And you start having Chris Richard taking over more of that coordinator role. And I believe that Byron Jones being moved to corner is part of that role already. I think we'll be better off in the long run for him to work his way to become the defensive coordinator. And that's why I still believe that Earl Thomas will be a Dallas Cowboy. I know a lot of people are saying, he's old, he's over the hill, why do you want to pay a guy that's that old? Well, it's more than just the play on the field. You end up having a guy who can be a player's coach, who can teach the other guys the nuances of the system that Chris Richard plays. Make no mistake, Dak Prescott was better having Tony Romo and Mark Sanchez whispering in his ear his rookie year than without him. And that's the kind of effect that you could get with an Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas also brings a championship pedigree He's won a Super Bowl. He's been in a Super Bowl. He's got that ring to show, hey, guys, you know what it took to get there? He'll bring an attitude and an edge to the defense that hopefully will be able to take another step up, because our defense, and everybody will throw at me, you know, we were 8th ranked in yardage. Yes, we were. Defense played really, really well at times. But the thing that was lacking, great outside rush, not much up the middle, was turnovers. And that's where that safety in the middle, bone-jarring safety, will make a difference in helping you get those turnovers. We'll see what happens, see whatever other news comes up today. But as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. I'm Mark Holmes. This is Cowboy Jobu. And regardless of what people say that I'm trying to divide Dallas Cowboy Nation, I'm not. I'm actually trying to bring it together.
Hello,
I'm
friends.
Mark Holmes.
Cowboy Jobu here with an unsolicited opinion on the Jobu wings. You were saying about the wings?
The wings are the best I've ever had. Hands down. They're awesome.
Okay, well, we've been passing out our recipe. If you actually look on our YouTube channel, we have all the recipes for all this stuff on here.
With the women, with the ladies.
You know that. Okay, slide in a little bit here. Okay, all right, so on 3. Jay, get in there, man. Okay, we're gonna do How About Them Cowboys. Okay, all right, everybody, on 3, How About Them Cowboys. 1, 2, 3.
How about them Cowboys?